What is up? And I am Randy, and welcome to another deck profile. And today we're going to be showcasing a fun vampire deck profile. I say a lot of this new vampire support came out in Dark Saviors, so sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the new, now playable vampires, more consistent vampires. It's actually really consistent. So first off, you're going to have your 3 vampire scourges. Now this guy, he can special summon from the graveyard at a cost of a stack, 1,000 life points, and he has this. And he also has the effect also now where if he destroys a monster during the battle phase, you can special summon that card from the graveyard to your field. So basically, it gives you more, say, materials to go into your extra deck summons and stuff like that. But he's 2,200 defense and attack. He's good, 6-star, and he comes out fairly easy based on how this engine actually runs in this deck. Next, we have the hand trap for this archetype now, Vampire Frawling. Basically, anytime, so when a monster declares attack, any monster, she can special summon from the hand. Then per battle, it's not once per turn, nothing like that, it's per battle, you can up to 3,000 life points, increase one of your monster's attack points up to 3,000 attack by using those life points. It's completely crazy. So she can, say, beef up, let's say, your Scourge up to 5,200 easy. So it pushes for more damage, and based on certain combos and certain spell cards in this deck, you can get back those life points you spent. And also, she has the same effect if she destroys a monster by battle, so you can special summon it to your side of the field. So it's really, really nice. Next, we're going to go to one of the older, I'll say basically one of the original vampires that's actually still useful in this type of deck, is Shadow Vampire, because he can, literally when he's normal summon, special summon one vampire monster from your hand or deck. From your deck. Except for him, but from your deck. And he has an ability where, I say only that monster can attack that turn, but it's not that really big of an issue. And then you can only exceed someone with him for, say only if you exceed someone a dark monster, which is normally what you do anyway, with these vampires. And then we got your searchers. Basically, we have 2 familiars, which he searches out your vampire monsters themselves. He can special summon himself back from the graveyard by discarding a vampire card from your hand. It could be a vampire monster, spell, or trap. And then if you special summon just any way, you can pay 500 life points, search a vampire monster from your deck. Simple, nice. And then you have your spell and trap card searcher, your vampire retainer. Same effects, except for he searches your spell and traps. So that is your search. I say basically one of your search engines in your deck. Now we're going to go more into some tech cards right now. I do only rock 2 Gazukis. I tried a Mizuki, I tried the Unizombie engine, I tried the Plague Spreader engine, stuff like that. I really didn't like it because we don't really go into synchros at all in this deck. So I just really want to ditch some cards from the graveyard, and he has a great effect where he can special summon from vampires, let's say, from the hand as well if he's in the graveyard, so it's nice. So let's say you can summon him, ditch one of your familiars or your retainers off to search for a card that you actually need for your hand that you're actually missing for some of your combos. So he's nice to get things rolling. Then we got 1 Darkest Diablos, Lair of the Lord. See, normally you do a lot of tribute summoning in this deck. Well, not a lot, but it's normally to get your Shadow Vampire's effect off or something like that. And he can special summon himself from the hand or from the graveyard if a dark monster is tributed. So, bam. He's an easy 3K beater. He's mostly in here just for the beating. I mean, if he's a dead draw in your hand, you can use him to for other effects to discard often. So he has more uses. Now we're gonna go to the other vampires. We have 1 Vampire Red Baron. He's pretty much your snatch steal of the deck. He has that ability where if you destroy a monster by battle, you can take over it. Take control of it. Grimson, he protects. It can be a downside because you have to protect every one of them, so he can go through your life points fast. But let's see, he's in here. Sorcerer, because he's a search if he gets destroyed by your opponent's. He gets destroyed by the opponent. So you can search out one of your vampire monsters or vampire spell and trap if he's destroyed by your opponent. He's slower than Retainer and Familiar, but he's still in there. He comes in handy. Then 1 Duke, because he does get that special summon from the graveyard when he's normal. And also you can as soon as you special summon, you can ditch one of your opponent's cards from their deck to the graveyard, which also helps on some of the older engines, but for this you're mostly needing for that normal summon. Then we got 1 Armageddon Knight, again just to ditch stuff to the grave. That's what you need him. for say Retainer, Familiar, something that goes into it. And then 1 Scapegoat to round up the monsters, because you need link material. Scapegoat's good, but say for this, you really want zombie monsters out for your suckers. So and Scapegoat does produce those zombie tokens that you need, and that rounds it out for the monsters. Now we're jumping into spell and traps. Vampire Domain, good card. It's an additional normal summon. It also gains, it gives you life points based on the battle damage that you inflict your opponent. So basically, I say if you're swinging a good 2,000 or 4,000 damage, you're gonna take that all back into your life points, which is very nice because you do use, quite a bit of your life points to some of the effects in this deck. So this is basically a way to bring back those life points that you did use. Then we got 2 Desires, mostly to pump up for your Exceed plays, but also it's there just to dump something in your graveyard that you need in your graveyard just cause. It's really nice. I like it. Artwork, it's amazing. And I say all artwork and all these new vampires are really good. Then we got 1 Monster Reborn, just because it's Monster Reborn. Why not? 1 Mind Control, basically just take over, say, opponent's monster, because they stick with the vampire theme. Then for draw power, we're going to go into 2 Allure of Darkness, because almost all your cards are dark, so it's your draw power. If you do need a draw, spot removal, you got your MST. I mean, you could put in something else like a Twin Twister or something like that, but MST is what I got. Then also a Vampire Kingdom for your field spell. I mean, it's just cool to give your vampires a little boost. I mean, something you don't go into, but if you draw it, you can use it. And that's also, I say with this current meta game, a lot of people do send cards from their deck to the graveyard. So you can trigger off the other, effect on Vampire Kingdom, which is always nice to pop one of their cards. Then for more Reborn, 2 Book of Lives, because why not special summon from your graveyard and also banish a card from your opponent's graveyard. It's really nice. And then to finish out your tech cards, 1 for 1 and Foolish Burial to send cards from the deck to the graveyard, or special summon your Familiar, which then you can trigger off its effect search. So 1 for 1's good, and Foolish Burial is really good in this deck. Then go to the traps. We rock 3 Vampire Dominations. It's your spot removal. It's not spot removal, but it's your negate. It's you control a vampire monster. If a monster, when a monster effect is activated or a spell trap card effect is activated, you can negate it and destroy it. Simple. And if it was a monster, so you gain life points equal to that monster's original attack, which is really, really, really good. Then to round out your traps, we got 2 Awakenings, because this is an instant special summon right from the deck. You can special summon 1 vampire monster right from the deck to the field. Perfect to go into link plays, like seed plays, whatever you want to go into. This will most likely get you that piece that you need. Now we're going to go into the extra deck. We'll start with links. 1 Sucker. I say if you want to, you can rock 2 Vampire Suckers. But I say normally I find myself only going to 1. It's nice. And then there's also a little spicy stuff here. We got the Nightmare Engine with Nightmare Griffin, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Cerberus. I say these guys are really nice to go into. I say it's basically draw power. Then you also can stop effects, pop cards. It's nice. It's a nice little engine that's you can use. Then you got your standard link monsters as well. You got your proxy, your decode, and also I'm also using a space insulator because there's some situations where you might just necessarily need to go space insulator. He's just in there for fill a spot in case shit's going down. But that is the link monsters. Like you also can vary. You can put unicorn in there. Like I do plan on swapping out Griffin with unicorn because I think unicorn is a better card in general than Griffin, but Griffin does have its advantages. So it's all about personal preference with the nightmare cards. Like there's Goblin and there's Unicorn I'm missing. But then we're gonna go in the Exceeds. We have 2 Dampier Vampire Sheridan. He blows up stuff and he can take stuff. That's what he does. He's great. He's at 2600. He's good. I love him. And we got other level 6. We have Dragulus, a Vampire Dragon. He's just a pain in the ass. He doesn't want to leave the board ever. 1 Beatrice. The fusion monsters for Burning the Abyss. You can put him him in here as well, so when she gets destroyed, you can summon him. I don't have him in the extra deck yet. I'm still waiting on him, so he's not here yet. So I'll also rock him as well with Beatrice. But she's just a great card. Frozen Lady of Justice. I mean, I like her because she just pops all defense monsters. And then a Photon Strike Bouncer too to round out your rank 6. And then your only rank 5 that I have is Crimson Knight Braum. I mean, you can rock other, say, rank 5s, but it's all about personal preference. But Braum's good. Yeah, I just like him. And then I do not have a side deck for the profile. Because side deck, in my opinion, it's always personal preference. Like, it's what you feel comfortable with swapping out and etc. to change up in the deck. And that will do it with the Vampire deck profile. Like I said, all the new support that came out during the Dark Saviors booster box, it's really good that came out. It actually makes vampires like local and maybe regional worthy. I mean, they're now no tier 1, tier 0 meta deck, but they are fun to play with. I mean, they are relatively cheap right now, especially with all the super expensive sets that came out during Dark Saviors. I mean, at the time of recording this video, the Sky Striker card engaged, that's running about, what, $100, $120? So it's definitely a budget deck from that set. So, I mean, it's cool. It has cool effects. It has cool ways. I mean, it is fun to play with. It does have its good plays, and it can set up some pretty good boards. But it's nothing super good. It's just for fun. I mean, I like it. Plus, the artwork is amazing. So that will do it for the Vampire deck profile. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, as always. And until my next video, hope you guys have an awesome day wherever and whenever you're watching this. And bye-bye.